Good morning, brand DIYers. Whoa, blowing everybody's mind. I'm coming on 10 minutes early, and the show's only going to go 10 minutes today because I've got a big client call at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Apologize for the confusion, but let's make this short and let's make this great. I want to take you back to when I was 17 years old. One of my best friends, Neil, he was applying for work at a restaurant, one of the more well-known bistros in Calgary at the time. It's called 4th Street Rose. Everybody from Calgary who's of a certain vintage will remember this restaurant. Very well known. And Neil went to the restaurant to apply for work. And he applied and he had a great little resume for a student and is a very, very hard worker and smart. And he went in and he did the entire session with the interviewer. And then the interviewer said to him, I don't think we can hire you because you don't have the 4th Street Rose attitude. And I remember that was a subject and a topic of endless laughter, especially when we got to university, because we used to love ribbing Neil that he didn't have the 4th Street Rose attitude. And anybody who knows Neil knows that he didn't have the 4th Street Rose attitude. And that brings me to the topic today, making your brand a compass. I have just gone through an exercise with a very smallish client, a retail store, and helped them figure out how to create a very clear, simple, focused brand for themselves. And this was a wonderful revelation to them. They loved the experience. But what has really, really come to light is now we're executing on that brand. I have an art director, one of the brand DIYers, Angela. I have a writer, again, one of the brand DIYers, Catherine Hamilton. And I've got a sort of a web, a digital and social media person, an SEO person. That's Chris at Be West. Actually, Chris and Chris, two Chris's, one company. And what we've noticed is the foundation that we laid for the brand, the work that we did originally, figuring out what was the unique selling proposition, figuring out the mission, vision, values, figuring out the brand story, figuring out the sort of the name that the company should have, because it's a very small company and they are interested in changing the name, the look and the feel, all those fundamentals, those become the foundation that you build your church on. And what we're experiencing is that it is a lot easier now for the people, the art director, the writer, the digital person, to come up with great ideas because they're extremely focused. And that is how you turn your brand into a compass. A compass, as you know, points in the right direction, gets you home safe. A brand that's a compass guides people in the right direction so that every piece of work you do reinforces that brand message. Now, I will have a great term for it. It's making gravy. I was working on a big project for Mr. Clean, Procter & Gamble, and we had a very famous creative director sort of spearheading the whole thing. And our agency was one of the many who were working on this project. And he said, in everything we do, whether it's the packaging or the PR or the stunts or the advertising, everything we do has to make gravy. That is, it has to make the master brand more tasty and more attractive to people. So think about it. Have you taken the time to turn your brand into a compass? Have you, in one simple sentence, been able to figure out what your unique selling proposition is? If you don't know what a unique selling proposition is, or it's kind of fuzzy to you, don't worry about it. Download my book, Brand DIY, B-R-A-N-D, DIY. It's on my website, marcstoiber.com, and check it out. There's a whole section on how to create a unique selling proposition. In essence, it is, I am the best or the only blank because 3 reasons. This is extremely important to type of person because 3 reasons why it's important to them. So I am the best at something. I've got proof. This is extremely important to this type of person because Here's where it hurts them, here's where it hurts them, here's where it hurts them, and I provide a solution. If you can't say that about your brand, you are wandering in the woods without a compass. And if you don't have a compass, all the people you have working for you aren't making gravy for your brand with every action. What they're doing is just putting together a whole bunch of ingredients by themselves and hoping and praying that somehow it will all work out. A brand is a business tool. Without focus, it will not build your business. So take a look at Brand DIY, the book. Figure out how to create a unique selling proposition using the book, or you can talk to me. And then think of your brand, that very fundamental pointy needle, as a compass. Something that will then guide you forward. And all your actions can be in purpose of going in that direction. And everything that you do will make gravy. That is, build the master brand. All right, I hope that's helpful. It isn't a long lesson, but I can't tell you how many people start brand projects without turning their brand into a compass, turning it into a needle that points in the right direction, very focused, very accurate, so that every action can move in the direction of that needle and make gravy for the master brand. I hope you have a terrific day. We've got a special guest on tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon.